So there was an article in the Washington Post about Tawana Gaines resigning her District 22 House of Delegates seat. That also happened to mention Mayor Emmett Jordan.
Yeah, imagine my surprise and the surprise of all Greenbelters who are very much aware and caught up in the current council election to see this statement attributed to him that he said that, yes, I'm considering vying for the position. And so it was important to clarify, and that's why we talked to Mayor Jordan and why we are running this article. And the bottom line is that very absolutely and profoundly he was very strong about this. He reiterated it last night at the council meeting that he is running for city council. He hopes to have at least another term on city council. He would like to be mayor for the next 2 years. He is absolutely committed to that, period. Now, human beings are not on-off switches. You know, there's such a thing as dual intent, or as you can be doing a thing and be focused on it and doing all that you need to do and be committed to it, and yet, you know, wondering, this is maybe a plan for the future, or it's something that I'm interested in. And so sure, a Democratic politician in Prince George's County, all of a sudden he sees that this seat is vacated. Well, of course he's going to think about it. Of course he's going to consider it. So he gets his call from the Washington Post reporter, and he honestly says, yeah, I'm considering vying for it. Now, he pointed out it's a very highly political process to go through to get your name in that, you know, and what happens, the Democratic Committee of Prince George's County will recommend a name to the governor, and the governor will formally select the person to fill out the remainder of the term. So, but it will be done, Democrat will fill the vacated Democrat's position. So, but to get your name, you know, you have to go through things.
Right.
So yeah, he was considering it, and yes, of course he's going to think about it, and who knows, maybe in the future he will. We don't know. Right. He probably doesn't know. But the point of the article is that as of right now, yes, he is running for mayor, or he's running for council.
He's sticking with Greenbelt.
Yeah. He is sticking with Greenbelt.
So Greenbelt East residents met with Police Chief Richard Bowers to discuss 2 recent shootings.
Yeah, and actually there may even have been a third shooting in there. It's, if you look back over the several weeks worth of news reviews on the police blotter, and then last week we even did an article about one day on the 8th of October, I think, that after school activities were canceled for student safety. Yeah, there have been shootings over there. And so over at the Greenbrier meeting room, the Police Chief Bowers was there, the mayor was there, a lot of people were there, and talked about, they said, look, we're on it. That's one of the bottom lines. We're on it, we're increasing our patrols, we are aware of this, and we want to, you know, mitigate this as much as possible.
What I found kind of interesting is that there were no victims that they're aware of from these shootings.
Right, that's right. And I'm not sure that they've even found a shooter or a perpetrator. I don't think that they have found a person who actually pulled the trigger. They found casings at a couple of times, so, and people heard the shots, but so no, there's doesn't seem to be that. The article speculates that it may have been somebody with animus toward Roosevelt. You know, toward the school, maybe. One important element, you know, they said, is communication. It's important to communicate. If there's an issue, there's a problem, call us, they said. They talked about a rise in calls they get that are mental health related, 33% increase in attempted suicide calls over this last year. And so Chief Bowers, Chief Bowers mentioned that his force, they're undergoing more mental health training so they can be adequately prepared to, you know, handle situations like this.
And I guess some of the other complaints that residents raised was student loitering, the smell of marijuana, smoking. I'm assuming this is all on private property across from the school, right?
Yeah, probably at Greenbrier, and people smell it. And again, the answer is, you can't, flick a switch and it's all finished. And I suppose you're going to have some of that next to a high school. But the police are on it, and they are over there as much as they can be. They are increasing their patrols. So,
and my sense is that the chief is making a really good effort at just reaching out and maintaining contact with the community.
That's exactly right, and that's one thing I admire about the police department in Greenbelt, and that is, it appears to me, from my position, that they are attempting not only to do their law enforcement job, but they take their community relationship job they take it very seriously. And this is an example of that. So,
Greenbelters participated in a suicide awareness event at University of Maryland where they screened a film called The S Word, and we know what the S Word is, right?
Yeah, is suicide, of course, and it's called the S Word because, as we mentioned in the last story, it's partly, it's all in a way, to a large degree, it's about communication. It's about talking. You've got thoughts, you've got ideas, you've got frustrations or concerns. Talk to somebody, whether you are the one considering, or thinking about suicide, or whether it's someone who's close to you that you see is going through something.
To listen and try and be aware, because I guess sometimes people need for you to reach out just a little bit.
That's right, and to be empathetic, and yes. So, and you mentioned the two there's several groups that co-sponsored this movie, but two groups. One is Choice Clinical Services, a counseling service. Their main offices are in Roosevelt Center. They recently opened a new one, making two in College Park, and then also the Maxwell Foundation. Teresa Maxwell was there with the Michael Maxwell Foundation, and that's a nonprofit, a 501c3 that is based in Greenbelt. Michael Maxwell, we talked about this. This came up in an article a couple of weeks ago in our conversation. It started with the suicide, but the Maxwell family started this suicide awareness foundation. This foundation to support that.
And it's great that they say if we can save just one, and I think that's all we can try to do, right? And I love the goal of the foundation. Yep.
Yeah, and Greenbelters, we have an opportunity to support them, to help them out with that. On November, there's an ad in the paper, November 24th, I think. Right. Yeah, November 24th.
It's their annual fundraiser.
That's right. That's right. And so check that out, put it on the calendar, and support them.
It's a worthy cause. The News Review continues its run of articles on our upcoming city council elections.
That's right. There's plenty of material this week. The candidates answer the question: what in their opinion, how can we increase civic participation in government? So you can see all their answers. We have another bio this week to check out. One article I really want to highlight is so in past years, what I consider a coalition of Greenbelt progressive groups have sponsored a forum where an actual event. But this year, for timing and other reasons, that didn't work out. And so in lieu of that, they sent 4 questions directly to the candidates, and then the candidates will answer. So what the News Review is doing this week, we give you the questions and some conversation with representatives of that coalition, the progressive group, and then over the next couple of weeks, we will not give every single word, but we'll summarize answers. And it's some interesting stuff. You should check it out.
And in addition, GHI is hosting a candidate forum as well.
That's right, exactly right. And that's going to be in the municipal building, I think October 24th. Again, double check the paper, read the paper. But that's right, and that will be a live forum and moderated by Steve Skolnick, the chairman, the president of GHI. And so, more opportunities to hear what the candidates have to say and to educate yourself about the issues in Greenbelt.
Gary, thank you once again for bringing us up to speed on events in Greenbelt this week.
My pleasure.